Hello, I'm Stephanie Kim, coming to you from the LG Digital Studio at the Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies. In focus today, study abroad. I'm joined by Dr. John Lucas, President and CEO of International Student Exchange Programs, better known as ISEP. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Stephanie. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure, actually. So John, you lead an organization that promotes study abroad. Why is study abroad so important, and what does your organization do to help students gain access to it?
Yeah. So ISEP was founded about 40 years ago, in fact, at Georgetown. So we have a long tradition of collaboration with Georgetown and share many of the same values at creating global citizens that Georgetown has. So if we look at the major challenges the world faces today, climate change, displacement of peoples, the rise of authoritarianism, access to healthcare and education, all of these are really global challenges in their scope, and they require complex, creative and collaborative solutions. We're not going to solve these problems with one country alone or with one nation alone. And so learning to value, to appreciate, to collaborate with people from other cultures, it's not just a nice skill to have anymore, it's vital for the future of our planet. So whether you learn these skills through an organized exchange or study abroad program such as what ISEP provides, or you work with a culturally different community right here at home through a program on campus or a volunteer program, for example, it's absolutely crucial that the next generation of leaders acquires these skills. And as it turns out, these skills that you get through an intercultural experience, like study abroad, creative problem solving, language skills, the ability to work and collaborate across cultures, critical thinking skills, these happen to also be the skills employers say in surveys that they need in the workplace. And so study abroad is an excellent way to prepare yourself to be an active and engaged global citizen. It's also a great way for students to set themselves up for an excellent career.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's actually really insightful. So for American students who choose to study abroad, what are their preferred destinations?
So according to IIE's latest Open Doors report that measures this, for the 2016-17 academic year, about half of US students, 54%, still choose one of the nations in Western Europe as their destination. And it's been that way for decades, really.
Do you see this trend changing at all?
Yeah, actually I do. I think in the field of international education, we're working hard to foster awareness and interest in other parts of the world. Likewise, as the population of international students further diversifies our campuses, students are coming into contact with other cultures, languages, and regions of the world through the friendships they make with international students at home. And all of that's helping. For example, we see the rising importance of Asia, as both China and Japan are now in the top 10 destinations for US students studying abroad, and that certainly has to do in part to the influence that we see of Asian cultures here in the US and the number of Asian students who are studying in the United States. The institution I represent, ISEP, is truly global. We have a network of over 340 colleges and universities in 54 countries at this point. So we're a little bit different than the national trends in the US. In fact, we're seeing growing student interest in some less common destinations. So there's growth right now in interest in South Korea, Ghana, and Morocco as a few examples.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. So you touched on international students coming here to the United States. So for those students who do come to American campuses, what are their biggest challenges, and how can American campuses better accommodate their needs?
So a lot of the challenges international students face, they're really quite similar to the same challenges, or the same as the challenges US students face when they go abroad. They need to know how to navigate the local culture. They need to understand the educational system, how to work through the bureaucracy, where to go if they need help. All of these things are similar to what our study abroad students face. So if a US institution is planning on recruiting international students, it's absolutely vital they have a comprehensive internationalization strategy in place with plans and resources behind those plans to fully integrate the international students in the campus. Many of our universities are currently working really actively to welcome international students. They do that in a variety of ways. There are orientation programs, different programs in the housing units across campuses that help to welcome students and involve them in the community. as well as the role faculty have in including the international student voices in class discussions and making full use of their insights and background in the classroom. So I think there are lots of ways we can welcome them, but having a strategic plan and involving the whole campus community in welcoming the international students, I think, is really crucial.
Wow, well, lots of work ahead of us for those in higher education.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's wonderful work and rewarding work.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, John, for joining us. And thank you, everyone out there, for watching. Stay tuned for more from the LG Digital Studio at Georgetown SCS.